Hello everyone, this is Teacher Amina. Welcome students. Literature is considered as an art form of writing that includes artistic as well as intellectual expressions. Broadly speaking, it is the collection of literary works such as poem, prose, novel, play, or short story, which may be imaginative or based on two incidents put into words with a touch of creativity. Therefore, the lesson for the day is about prose and poetry. Both prose and poetry are two common forms of literary works with different connotations. The difference between prose and poetry is the writing style. Prose has no particular style or literary design. It can be found in blogs, newspaper articles, etc. Whereas, on the other hand, poetry has a unique style and is written in stanzas. Prose is a literary work written ordinarily without any metrical composition, i.e. without any pattern or any particular tone, whereas poetry is a form of literature that uses rhythmic patterns unlike prose. What is prose? Prose is a natural form of writing that exhibits an ordinary form of grammatical structure. It has no metric structure and is written in the language that people make use of as a part of their everyday speech, which is used to speak as well as to write. Prose may or may not include dialogues. Moreover, it is sometimes supported when image. There are four kinds of prose. Number 1. Fictional prose. Includes novels and short stories. It is wholly or partly imaginative and is written in a narrative form that comprises people, events, places, etc. Number 2. Non-fictional prose is the prose which is based on true events or facts but may contain some fictional matter. Examples of non-fictional prose are the same as fictional prose, i.e. novels and short stories. Number 3. Heroic prose is a form of literature that is either written down or preserved through oral tradition, but is meant to be passed on to generations or to be recited. Examples of heroic prose are legends and tales. Number 4. Poetry prose is a poetry written as a prose and has a rhythmic style, or poetic meter. Moreover, it is written in paragraphs instead of verses. Newspaper articles, fairy tales, essays, biography, novels, textbook, stories, class lectures, and autobiography are all examples of prose. Moreover, it is commonly used in our day-to-day conversations as well. What is poetry? Poetry is a form of literature written artfully and is an ancient form that has gone through numerous drastic reinventions over time. It evokes imaginative consciousness among the readers through its creative structure of words and rhyme that binds the readers with the poem. It is the genre of the literature that expresses ideas, feelings, and thoughts in stanzas and specific form lines. There are three kinds of poetry. Number 1. Narrative poetry. A narrative poetry is a type of poetry that tells a story, which is written in verses. Moreover, it includes characters, roles, plot, etc. It is usually not written rhythmically. Number 2. Dramatic poetry. A dramatic poetry is a genre of poems to have an emotional touch attached to it. It depicts a storyline or a specific situation and includes monologues, as well as rhyme verses. Number 3. Lyrical poetry. A lyrical poetry is a short musical story that expresses personal feelings, thoughts, and emotions. Moreover, it is written in the first person. The writer uses words to express the emotion instead of a story. There are 5 main differences between prose and poetry. Number 1. Prose is written in such a way that it does not pay attention to rhyme, whereas in the case of poetry, it is written rhythmically. Number 2. While writing a prose, the writer or author has no word limit. On the other hand, a writer has a limited number of words that he or she can use. Number 3. Prose is mainly realistic. On the other hand, the poem uses imaginative scenarios. Number 4. In prose, ideas, thoughts are written down into lines which are combined into paragraphs. whereas in the case of poetry, it is written in stanzas. Number 5. In prose, the writer conveys an informative message for the betterment of the society, the readers, whereas on the other hand, in the poem, the poet only writes to serve delight to its readers. For the conclusion, both prose and a poem are two commonly used forms of literature, with different meanings as well as writing styles. The basic difference between prose and a poem is that the former is written in a simple language and in paragraphs. On the contrary, a poem is written in stanzas with aesthetic style. Furthermore, prose consists of no rhyme or rhythm, unlike the poem that has a unique pattern. So that's it, students. I hope you have learned what is prose and poetry and its differences. I hope to see you again in my next videos.